Hey everyone. So you read the title of this video, most definitely because you clicked on it. Unless God forbid you're in like kindergarten and you can't read and you're watching my fucking videos. But let's just get into it. Okay, so a lot of you are probably thinking like, "Yo, Jackson, like what happened? Like why are you quote unquote so done? Why are you pissed off? Like is it even that serious?" And let me just I guess start this story from the top where it starts, like let's just get started on this story. Even though this is a story that like kind of pisses me off to think about, I still think it's pretty funny and pretty entertaining, so I'm going to be telling it for you guys. So about like I'd say a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, my high school was having like this thing where I don't want to get into too much details because for one, I know there's definitely some nerd on the other side that can probably like do some fucking hacker shit, like some Kevin Mitnick type shit, and like find out like what school I go to and shit like that. So I'm gonna be keeping the details kind of toned down. But my school was kind of doing this thing where it was like an event where with a big group of people we could go off campus unsupervised. You guys already know that I'm in, fuck math class, fuck English. My English teacher's literally legally blind. He can't drive. I don't know why I threw that in there, but yeah. So pretty much first things first, I get out of my second period, which conveniently enough that was my English class, which kind of sucks because that's one of my least favorite classes, and that means I still had to attend it. But so, pretty much, I had my group of friends that I was going to do this with. If you've been watching my videos, you've definitely heard their names before. With me, we have Aura, we have Ashley, we have Ashley's boyfriend. I'm not sure what I'm going to call him yet. You know what? Fuck it. I'll call him John. We got John, who is Ashley's boyfriend, and then we got this other girl who I've like never ever interacted with before, but I guess she's like one of Ashley's friends. And I'm gonna be real, this girl was actually pretty cool. I was actually like kind of low key like chilling with this girl. She was cool. She was nice. Pretty enjoyable to be around. But so pretty much, once I got out of my second period, I called Ashley and I asked her like, "Hey, where are you guys at?" And she was like, "Oh, we're coming out of the chunk of classrooms on the west side of the school." So I go over there, and sure enough, I see Ashley, I see Aura, I see John. Or actually, I didn't see John because they were looking for John, but John eventually like walked up. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot that detail. I fucking jumped the gun there. My bad, y'all. But once we all get grouped together, we go up to the front gate, kind of like where the flagpole is, and they pretty much just let us out. At first, we were a little bit afraid because there was this one like ASB girl who was like a sophomore, I think, and she was like saying like, "Hello, everybody. You need to be 18 if you want to leave. You can't go." But I guess like one of the school staff said like, "Yeah, fuck that, you guys can get out of here." They didn't even keep track of who left and who stayed. They just let us leave. Like, they didn't check our IDs, nothing like that. And this is actually important for later on because I got bored of being out of school, which sounds kind of complicated, but it'll make sense later on. And yeah, it gets funny, trust me. So once we all get out of the school gate and we're just walking out and about, we see that the fucking school cop, I hate this guy. I'll actually have a story about that later on, which, I'm holding on to because it's going to be a good one. Y'all are going to like it. Even if you, like, don't like my videos, I can make an argument that you might, like, genuinely enjoy it. But, I'm getting sidetracked once again, so let me get back on topic. So the school cop is following us, and it's kind of funny because my friend Aura, she was like, she had this like little pen. It wasn't a disposable. It was like one of those where you have to buy the battery and then you have to buy a pod and then you like attach it. And she was being very generous. She was lending me some. She was saucing me some hits, if you will. Low-key, though, I didn't even really get that faded. But, that's honestly a good thing, because the only places I really feel comfortable being, like, extremely fucking faded would be, like, in my house, like, at night, like, when I'm in a good mood. Otherwise, I'd only want to be, like, baked or fried. And that's pretty much what I was. I kind of want to just say that I was baked. And, I had a little bit of brain fog. And, we were walking out and about. And eventually we get to this park near the school. I guess that was kind of where, like, the main event was. We were all kind of just having a good time. There was, like, a lot of us there. Like, I think there was, like, over 200 kids from the school, if not way more. But we're all kind of at this park. This park's really big. Me and the group break off from the rest of the few hundred kids or so, and we kind of just go to this, like, skate park looking area, which, something I really, really don't like about my friend group is, so I'm gonna be real, most of them are, women, and, I'm not a fucking weirdo, obviously, but, like, whenever they want to go smoke, they are way too afraid to just, like, do it. They, like, even if we're in an area with no cops, nobody that gives a shit, just, like, no threats at all to them losing their fucking Benjamin Franklin or whatever. Like, no threats, no nothing. They'll still want to go to the bathroom and just hide it as best as they can. I don't understand it. But so they go to the bathroom, and I'm not a fucking weirdo, so obviously I don't follow them, which this, like, kind of sucks, because that just means that I'm going to be alone a lot. And they spend a lot of time in those bathrooms. Like, hell, like, there's got to be some conspiracy theories popping up at this point with how much time they be spending in the bathrooms, but back on topic. So after what, like, low-key genuinely felt like forever, each and every single one of them, they all leave the bathroom, right? And at this point, due to the fact that my sleep schedule genuinely sucks fucking ass, I was feeling pretty tired. So I tell everybody, and remember the exact words. These are the exact words I said. This will be very important for later on in the story. I said, hey guys, I'm thinking I'm going to run up to AMPM, and I'm going to get a Monster Energy. You guys are welcome to come with if you want. And then Ashley says, oh, you have money? And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about just buying myself a Monster, and then we can come back and then hang out for a little bit longer, and then we'll come back to school. And then she's like, okay. And then she tells everyone else about it, and then, we all kind of get going. Now, I won't really mention too much about the walk there because it wasn't really that important, but I will mention one thing that was kind of crazy. Growing up has really made me realize how, like, fucked up the town I live in kind of is, because, like, when I was walking with them and we were, like, getting closer to AMPM, there was, like, this group of guys, like, walking behind us, and fucking one of the girls, like, the Cali Clear slips out of her pocket and falls on the ground, and, like, she picks it back up, and then one of the guy asks to hit it, and then she's like, oh, it's dead. And then, like, I think, like, 2 minutes later, they start trying to go through my friend Aura's bag, and they didn't find shit because she doesn't have money, because she spends it all on weed and other stuff, so they just ran off. So we all keep walking, over to this AMPM. And, once we get there, we realize one thing that is very sucky, very shitty. The AMPM is fucking closed. Now, the Arco, which is, like, the actual gas station, there's people pumping gas over there, and, it's open and whatever. So I guess that's nice. But, like, other than that, we're pretty much fucked. But me being kind of, honestly, a little bit of a stubborn prick, I'm thinking, like, they're thinking, like, okay, this AMPM's closed, should we go back to school? Or not back to the school, back to the park? And then I'm thinking, like, I don't really know about that, because, like, there's still, like, a big plaza of stores, like, about, like, I'd say, like, almost 1,000 feet away, so, I suggested that we should go check that out, and then, maybe we could go back to the park after that. But, I want to get an energy drink, so, we'll go check out the plaza. So they agree, and we start walking over to the plaza, and, this is kind of where the story, I guess, reaches, like, its main point, if you will. So, after walking, I'm not saying shit about the walk there, because it's not important. Once we get to the plaza, we start, like, looking around the stores, and, to be honest, we didn't find any stores that had like a fridge, because like usually like sometimes in a store there's like a little fridge and you can like take a drink out and like put it up to the counter. Like y'all should probably already know that by now. But there just wasn't any of that, I guess. I remember there was this pizza place. Sorry, I just got a fucking Instagram notification from my friend Aura, actually, which is funny because she's literally in this story, but, you know. But here's where the story actually kind of has, like, a bit of a turning point, you know? It kind of seems like, my friends that I was walking with kind of started to, like, flip the script on me a little bit, and, you know, I didn't like that. It didn't feel like the most amazing. It wasn't the best feeling I've ever had in the entire world. But pretty much, they like flipped the script. And I told you guys to remember what I said, like during this part of the story where I was saying, like, hey guys, I want to go to the gas station to get a Monster. You are welcome to come with if you want. But some of these fuckers start, like, flipping the script, saying, like, oh, no, it was like you said that you had money, and if we came with you, which we didn't want to, then you would buy us all a bunch of stuff. And I told them, like, oh, that is, not really what I said, but, you know, honestly, I'm thinking about spending most of my money on, like, shrooms or something, like, this weekend. You know, I want to tweak my dick off a little bit. And they're like, come on, like, let's go into this, like, fucking ice cream store. I don't want to say what it's called, because it's, like, very hole in the wall, and you can probably figure out where it is. But, fucking, like, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then Ashley's like, come on, like, let's just go in there. You can see, like, literally the best thing in the world, like, that you'd want so bad. Like, come on, let's just take a look. And I was like, you guys can all take a look. I'm just going to wait outside. I'm not even going to pull my card out. There ain't no energy drinks in this joint. And she was like, come on, there could literally be the best thing in the world. And I was like, well, the best thing in the world would be a white Monster, but I don't see that anywhere. So unless you guys want to take, like, another mile walk up to Walgreens or some shit, it's looking like we're going to go back to the school. And then she's like, come on, you dragged us out here and you said you have money. You can't just do us like this. And then here's where my friend Aura actually kind of starts defending me, because she was like, wait, but I could have sworn he literally just said that, like, he's going to go get a Monster and we're welcome to come with if we want. And I go, oh my God, thanks, Aura. You're so smart. Oh my God, you're so intelligent. Thank you, Aura. And then she's like, oh, thank you too. And then they all kind of just look pissed off. And she's like, Ashley is kind of like, come on, we need to make a decision now. Do we do this, or do we just go back to the park? And I go, we go back to the park, because this really wasn't the plan. And then her fucking lip, like, starts shaking and, like, trembling and shit. And then, like, a singular tear rolls down her right eye, like, rolls down her cheek, and she goes, you piss me off. And she just starts acting completely normal again, and we start walking back. And, you know, honestly, this makes me kind of feel like most of my friends are really just fake. Obviously, Aura's not fake, because, you know, she was backing me up there, but, like, a lot of my friends are fake, and I genuinely don't feel good about that. And, like, this is a constant thing. Like, I don't know how many times I mentioned this, but I do have depression. I do have other shit. You know, I do have anxiety. And, you know, this kind of just adds to it, you know? It's not great. It's not amazing. It's not fucking, like, peachy. It's just, like, it does get pretty lonely. You know, you do feel... I don't know why I'm just venting, bro. I'm making my audience my fucking therapist right now. But, you know... Honestly, y'all, I really hope y'all enjoyed the video, you know, I've been waiting to make this one, you know, really hope you enjoy it, and, you know, as much as I say this, and as much as I never really stick to it, honestly, I genuinely do think I'm gonna try to put out another one tonight, and, if you guys watch that, I really hope y'all enjoy it too, and, yeah, I'll just see y'all, so, yeah, peace.